New details after the accused Pittsburgh synagogue shooter appears in court today.
Plus, President Trump and former President Obama heading to the Peach State this week. We're working for you with when and where.
And get ready for a wickedly warm Halloween this week. Just how high temperatures will rise.
WGXA News on Fox 24.
Good Monday evening to you. Thanks for watching WGXA News at 5. I'm Aaron Lee.
And I'm Nicole Williams. First up at 5 and happening right now, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation is working the scene of an officer-involved shooting in Monroe County.
That shooting left one person dead. WGXA's Eric Mock joins us live from that scene. Eric, details on this still seem pretty limited at this hour.
That's right, guys. Unfortunately, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation has not really revealed yet many details on how 42-year-old Ida Stiles was killed here at her home on Martha Road. This is just up the street from High Falls State Park, and what we do know is that deputies were here at her home, and there were shots fired, shots fired, and then she lost her life again. But that's about all we know at this point. Again, the GBI being very limited at this point with the information that they are releasing about this, as it is still very early in their investigation. Now, we've been hearing from witnesses that they heard shouting and gunshots around the time when it happened, but again, that has not yet been confirmed by law enforcement. Now, when her family arrived here, they reacted with shock and disbelief at what had happened. I spoke with her father, David Stiles, who says he's usually very supportive of law enforcement, but right now, he's just feeling a lot of hurt and pain.
I care about our police community, too. I care very much about them. You know, I appreciate the good job they do, but I think they failed me on this one. They killed my little girl, and she didn't deserve this. She's 42 years old. She's been like this for years. And she talks a little while, but she wouldn't hurt anybody.
Now, again, we don't know any details about how this shooting happened or why, but all we do know is that Monroe County deputies were involved in that shooting that led to her losing her life here at the scene on Martha Road. Now, you can see deputies are still out here monitoring the home. GBI agents were here pretty much all day since it happened, going to and from the driveway, in and out of the home here, investigating what had happened, conducting interviews, that sort of thing. And they did tell us that they would be releasing more information tonight. And so as soon as we get that, we'll be reporting it to you. Be sure to stick with WGXA for the latest details on this officer-involved shooting. For now, reporting live in Monroe County, Eric Mock, WGXA News.
Eric, thank you. And officer-involved shootings in Georgia have continued to rise since 2013. Stats from the Georgia Bureau of Investigation show the number of officer-involved shootings over the past 6 years. In 2013, there were only 48 total officer-involved shootings. Just last year, we saw a total of 97 officer-involved shootings. So far this year, we've seen over 72, not including today's in Monroe County.
New tonight, officials in Pennsylvania are pushing for the toughest penalty for the man allegedly responsible for 11 deaths at a Pittsburgh synagogue.
Fox's Lauren Blanchard has more from Pittsburgh.
We've learned the first funerals will be held tomorrow afternoon as people here in Pittsburgh are still in shock after a man shot and killed 11 people in a synagogue. The alleged killer appearing in court today.
I've been praying for the people to say.
A community in mourning after a man stormed into Saturday worship services, killing 8 men and 3 women before being shot by police. Pittsburgh's mayor called it the darkest day in the city's history, but local Jewish leaders say their faith remains strong.
What happened yesterday will not break us. It will not ruin us.
The only suspect in the shooting, 46-year-old Robert Bowers, making his first appearance in federal court on Monday after allegedly telling authorities he wanted all Jews to die and blames them for the world's problems. He's still recovering from multiple gunshot wounds, but the U.S. Attorney's Office has begun the approval process to seek the death penalty.
I just wish we had a system that if we do have a death penalty, that it was a lot less cumbersome for the victims.
Meanwhile, the White House is pushing back strongly against critics who say the president's rhetoric is partly to blame for the shooting and that he hasn't done enough to combat the recent rise in anti-Semitic attacks.
He denounced anti-Semitism in all forms. He said we must rise above this evil. He's called for the death penalty for this murderer.
6 others were wounded in the attack, including